The revolutionary new sequel AI 2 by Paradise Decay is coming 2023. Sweet!
Hello there, you're super excited, you're getting a PlayStation VR 2, this is your first time in a VR headset. Who am I and why am I qualified to give you these tips? People call me PD and I've been a VR gamer for 5 years. My first VR headset was the Rift S on the PC. For the purpose of this video I'm going to be using a PlayStation 1 as reference. I do have a PlayStation VR 2 on pre-order and that's going to be arriving in a few days. As a VR gamer, I am super excited and I cannot wait. The first essential tip, and this is a no-brainer, you will need a PlayStation 5 for PlayStation VR 2 to work. The PlayStation VR 2 will not work on a PC and it's not standalone. This is a Quest Pro and if you notice there's no cables, it's not connected to anything, this is a standalone headset. The PlayStation VR 2 is going to have a cable that connects to your PlayStation 5. So the PlayStation VR 2 is going to be a tethered headset. Essential tip number 2 is to make sure you keep the lenses, which are here, look, away from any sunlight. These lenses react very similar to how a magnifying glass works, and if you've ever used the magnifying glass outside, you know you can concentrate the sun onto an area and you can burn it. If you get sunlight direct on the lenses, it's going to burn the components inside the headset. And you're going to notice dead pixels inside the headset where the sunlight has burnt out the very tiny screens that give you the VR effect. When I'm not using my headset, I store it facing away from the windows. My windows are over there, so the sunlight comes in this way. By storing my headset facing this way, the lenses are protected from the sunlight, especially in the morning or evening when you're in bed and the sunlight's coming through the window and it's really low. And it also goes without saying, never take your PlayStation VR 2 outside in the sunlight. Essential tip number 3 is to make sure you always use the cleaning cloth that comes with your PlayStation VR 2. You'll probably get one of these in the box. It will be a blue one with the PlayStation logo on it. And make sure when you clean your lenses, go in a circular motion. So start in the middle and work your way around in a circular motion and clean your lenses that way. This is going to prevent your lenses from getting scratched. Never use tissue paper or any solvents, anything like that. Just use a clean cloth. Essential tip number 4 is cable management. The PlayStation VR 2 is going to connect to your PlayStation 5 with a cable. You need to make sure it doesn't snag anywhere. You don't want to be pulling objects off any tables, and you certainly do not want to pull your PlayStation 5 off a table. The PlayStation VR 2 cable is going to be a USB-C. I would recommend after a few days of use, if you think the cable is going to be a problem, if you're worried about it pulling off your PlayStation 5 or anything else, look into buying a USB-C magnetic adapter. I use one anytime I connect my Quest 2 to my PC and I need the cable connected. That little magnetic adapter has saved me ripping off my Quest 2 a few times. So if you're worried about the PlayStation VR 2 pulling your PlayStation 5 off your table or your desk, then that's something you can look into. Essential tip number 5 is eye strain and motion sickness. Eye strain can be a cause of motion sickness. To help prevent eye strain, make sure when you get your PlayStation VR 2 you set your IPD. That's the distance between the pupil of your eyes. So when I jump into my PlayStation VR 2, the first thing I'm going to do is set the distance of the lens to 64, which is my IPD. This is going to keep the images nice and sharp in the headset and I'm not going to get any eye strain. On the subject of eyes, you can wear your glasses in a VR headset. On the PlayStation 1, it's got the ability to bring the headset further out, allowing you to wear glasses. I'm sure on PlayStation VR 2 you're going to have a very similar mechanic. that's going to allow you to wear glasses in VR. If you ever feel sick on your PlayStation VR2, take it off straight away. Do not try to push through it. It's going to make things worse. Take the headset off, have a drink of tea, take a break, and then try again later. The biggest mistake that people do new to VR when they put on a headset for the first time is to jump into a very demanding VR experience. VR is like riding a bike for the first time. You need to take your time, let your body adjust. The PlayStation VR2 is probably going to be coming with a demo. I would highly recommend you play the demo first. That demo is going to be made specially for people new to VR. It's going to show off the technology and it's going to slowly get your body used to the experience. So please, 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 if you've never tried VR before, do not jump into this and straight into Gran Turismo. You might be sick. These headsets do come with an age limit, so I would recommend you adhere to those limits. Essential tip number 7, I think it's number 7, have I missed one? Essential tip number 7 is your surroundings. You need to make sure there's nothing around you when you're doing VR. If you sat down, make sure you're away from your desk. The first time you set up your PlayStation VR2, there should be an option to create a boundary. This is going to allow you to map out a section of your room that is a safe space. Also, if you're going to be doing VR and you're in a room where people come through, make sure you let people know you're going to be doing VR, because you don't want to be in like a boxing game and somebody tries to walk past you. It's happened in the past. Take this advice seriously, because I've lost count how many times I've hit things in VR over 5 years. If you're going to be sat down playing VR on the sofa, also make sure you let people know there's a cable there. And that's another good reason to look into getting a USB-C magnetic adapter. At some stage you're going to want to try a VR game standing up. I would highly recommend you get yourself a rug to stand on so that you know where you are when you stood up. I use this one. I stand on this when I'm doing VR. I don't wear shoes, I play VR in my socks, and my toes can feel the edge of this rug, and it prevents me walking off and bumping into things. You can get mats like this from your local convenience store. They're dead cheap. You get like a pack of 5, and if you're playing a game with a bit more room scale, then you can make your play area a bit bigger. On the subject of safety in VR, your PlayStation VR2 controllers should come with a little strap. Make sure you put that strap around your wrist. This is the Quest 2 controller. VR is so exciting, the chances are you're going to at some stage let go of your controllers if you're new to VR. The PlayStation VR2 controllers are designed a little bit differently. I've never tried them, so I can't really say how safe and secure they are. Always make sure you wear your strap, because that's going to prevent the controller flying out your hands, smashing your TV, smashing your PlayStation 5, or hitting one of your family members in the head. Last but no means least, essential tip number 8. As far as I know, PlayStation VR2 does not have any speakers or headphones. Unlike PlayStation VR1, which has got built-in earbuds, there's none on the PlayStation VR2. So I would highly recommend you grab yourself some headphones or earbuds ready, and that's about it. As a VR vet, I'm really excited for PlayStation VR2. The last time I was this excited about a VR headset was when I got my Rift S over 5 years ago. As somebody who's going to be new to VR, I hope you have an amazing time. Let me know in my comments your first time experiences. I'd love to hear them. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe. Be sure to hit my little bell. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.